Now that Corona seems to be going the wrong way again and the fear is building, I thought it might be helpful to share some simple facts for us all to think about. Number one, let's remember there are more cases because more people are being tested. If you do more tests, then you will find out there are more people who have had Corona. Number of tests don't matter, number of cases don't matter. Only hospital admissions matter if there's a problem in terms of a backlog, and only deaths, excess deaths, matter. So disregard all lots of new cases just because more people are being tested. Second up, there's some very dodgy maths being used. In the UK, we're told England had the highest number of excess deaths. Well, no, we had the worst way of doing maths. We had everybody who died, whether it was with Corona or from Corona, we threw them all in the same pot. They all died from Corona. Even if you had a leukemia, pre-existing conditions, were very elderly, if Corona was in your system, we called that a Corona death. That's why our numbers were so high. And Spain too is doing crazy things with maths. They're saying they've got loads of new cases. You'll have seen the graph with that fearsome looking trajectory. Actually, they're also putting in there people who've had the antibody test who are showing they have the antibody in their system. They're calling those new cases as well. Whereas, of course, those people had Corona at some time in the past, have developed the antibody to it. They're not new cases, they're old cases, but they're being thrown into the mix at the same time. And finally, of course, there's this idea of face masks being very important because it's very serious, and the second wave and what's going to happen, and look at all these new cases and oh my goodness. In fact, masks are just a training device, like you might use nappies on your children or pull-up pants. They're to train you to accept a vaccine when it comes. They're to make you think that you can't go outside without needing something. They're to make you feel like you need something to be safe, and therefore you will exchange your face mask very readily for a vaccine when the government suggests that you should have it. If masks were so important, please ask yourself, why did nobody make them mandatory when we were at the peak of the virus? Why were they never brought in before? Why now, when there are hardly any issues, real issues with Corona? And finally, you know, we're not going to get this time back. If you're living half a life right now, your life is very small. Maybe you're not going out with friends. Maybe you're not traveling, going on transport. Maybe you're restricting the amount of fun you could have. The government, who's providing everything for you, they're not going to provide you with this time back. You're not going to get an extra 2 years of life free because you gave up half of this one. This is it. You get one life, and death has always been part of it. But somehow the media have managed to manipulate death to be utterly terrifying so that people now live in fear. What's the point of living life if you're not going to live it to the full? The mainstream media have a lot of things to answer for. They are the ones manipulating these truths, but they know, and they rely on the fact that fear sells. Don't be so cheap to be bought.
We will make America great again.